Hey, it's Martha, and today we are going to do 3 exercises and we're going to do a countdown workout. So we're going to start at 10 reps, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 with all 3 movements. Your movements are going to be deadlift, rows, and a plank with a shoulder touch. I'm going to give you options for each. You can always look at the tutorial videos and get a whole bunch of different options depending on what equipment you might have for you. So we're going to get going with deadlift first. It's going to be 10 reps. So you're going to keep your back and flat and arms straight. And we're going to go for 10 reps here. And it's okay if you're going at a different pace than I am. If you get behind, you can always pause the video. If you're going faster, then you can take more breaks. So in the tutorial video, there's lots of options, including using a laundry basket or a backpack with books. You can use dumbbells, you can use kettlebells, any kind of thing that you can pick up. And that's 10. I'm gonna put that off to the side. Next up is our rows. I'm gonna do bent over rows with my dumbbells for 10 reps. So back is flat, knees are soft, and it's like you're pulling up a heavy pair of pants. You can also do a version of the row with a resistance band, or you can use a towel and do a row. Lots of options for the row as well. That's your 10 reps. That was 10 for me. If you're slower or faster, that's okay. We're gonna come to a plank. I'm gonna do a plank on my hands. We're gonna do a shoulder tap. Trying to keep the rest of the body as still as possible. So it's gonna be 10 total. So not 10 per side. Be relieved. Be very relieved. We're gonna do 4. There will be some movement in your body, but you're trying to not over exaggerate it. And that's our 10. One round down, we're gonna go to 9 next. So what will happen as we go through this workout, the rounds are gonna get quicker and quicker as the number of exercises gets fewer and fewer. So here we go for 9 reps. So same rules apply. If you have a heavier object, your reps will probably be slower. If you have a lighter object, probably be a little faster. All of those factors will play into it. One more here, and then we can leave it. That's 9. We're gonna do our bent over rows. Aiming for an intensity here where you feel like you're working, but ideally you can still breathe through your nose. So nose breathing is a good way to cue in to your personal effort and intensity level. That's 9, we're gonna put it down. So we're gonna come down to our plank for our plank shoulder taps. You may be wondering, hey, an odd number. Does that mean it's gonna be an uneven number on each side? And not so much. What we'll do is we'll just alternate which side we start with when we come back. That's 9. Take a breath and then come on back up. So if you started the 9 reps on the right side, we'll start 7 on the other. And either way, even if you don't remember if you started on the right or the left, a couple reps here or there, more on one side or the other. It's not something you need to be too worried about. Everyday life is not exactly the same on one side and the other. That's okay. We're gonna do 8. So picking up your object, I've got my sweet yellow cowbell. Definitely one of my favorite colors. So your knees will bend a little bit on this deadlift. Depending on the length of your legs and your levers, might be a little more squat-like, that's okay too. Or a little more hinge-like, that's an option. You can relax there. So when you get a little more squat-like, a little more quads, when you hinge a little more, definitely feel the back of your legs, your hamstrings. I'm gonna pick up those dumbbells for 8. It's the main thing with row that I see is that people want to pull it like extra far and do this little curl thing with the wrists. You want to keep your wrists long. So it's only coming to your body. You're not trying to go, you know, past your body. Last 2 and 1. All right, we're gonna do your plank with your shoulder taps for 8. And we're gonna come on up. Take a breather if you need to. Let your heart rate come down. Let your breathing feel recover to the point where you're like, oh yeah, I could have a conversation again and not be sucking wind, kind of thing. So we're gonna go 7 this time. When you're ready, if you need a longer rest, feel free to pause that video. It's your workout today, not mine, not anyone else's. So you are the boss of you. You should be having fun. You can relax there. 7 of those rows. Six for me, and 7. Going slow enough that you're in control. And again, how heavy your weight is going to determine how fast or how slow your movement is. We're going to do 7. So for me, I'm going to start on the left. So I wind up even on both sides. Again, don't stress too much. 7. Take a pause, take a breath, take a moment. I know it feels like we're still at 7. That must be pretty far. We're actually pretty close to halfway in how this all shakes out. So we're going to go for 6 this time. So these rounds are going to start to feel quicker and quicker. Maintaining that nose breathing as best you can. And then we're going to pop that to the side. We're going to scoop up those dumbbells. So for me, right now for today's workout, I have a weight that's fairly light for me. So my reps on this row are actually pretty quick. I could have chosen a heavier weight, but that's okay. A lot of this right now, we're making do with what we have, and that's just perfect. The workout you do is always better than, you know, whatever ideas of a perfect workout there are. We're going to do 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to come on up. We're all the way to 5. And these last 5 rounds go nice and quickly. So flat back, straight arms. You can be a little more hinge-like or a little more squat-like. You can mix it up. Vary your carry, as it were. Pop that to the side. Going for 5 on these rows. If you need to take longer breaks, please feel empowered to do so. We're going to come down to that plank for 5 on the shoulder taps. I'm starting on my right. If you're following the same pattern as me, that's 5. You'll notice 5 goes much faster than 10. And we're already at 4. We're going to keep moving through this last few rounds relatively quickly so you feel that that heart rate comes up. If you want to take your time a little bit more, or if your weights are heavier, so you need more recovery, please pace it yourself. What's nice with these countdown workouts is they're a simple way to get a great workout in a short period of time. So what I've done to create this workout is essentially I picked a lower body exercise, an upper body exercise, and a core exercise. And really, could be any lower body exercise you like, any upper, any core, and you just cycle through them using that 10-9-8 pattern. We're going for 3. So the way you set up your workouts can be with me, or it can also be what exercises you like. You can base it on what equipment you have. You can base it on what your energy is on any given day. Some days you might want to pick easier exercises. Some days you might feel like doing something a little harder. It's your choice, but when you have a framework that you can follow, it can make it much easier to create your own workouts. It's 2 there, so 2 goes very quick. 2 on the row, and 2. We're gonna do 2 on that plank, and then we're gonna go into our last rep, which is a single of each to finish our countdown. I'm gonna scoop up these guys. Yeah, we're popping that to the side. The last thing, we're gonna hold that plank. You can do your 1 shoulder tap if you want. We're just gonna hold that plank for a few seconds. It feels good. Drop those knees down. You can take a nice child's pose. You can let your head come down. I'm not putting my head down because I've got my headset in. It'll fall out. But just taking a moment to noticing your body, how you feel. You probably feel a little warmer than you did when you started. You probably feel your breathing is different, your energy is different. Feeling your body be supported by the floor. Noticing how you feel. Thanking your body for all its hard work. And thank you for being here today, my friends.